What if I told you the best fertilizer for your garden isn't sold in a bottle? It's the enemy you've been fighting all week. Yep, weeds. The ones you just pulled, roots and all. Because fertilizer is getting expensive and weeding is hard work. So today, we're flipping the script. I'm going to show you a simple backyard system that turns weeds into a high-potency weed tea fertilizer that can feed almost everything, from tomatoes to flowers, for free. Here's the promise. Instead of throwing weeds away, we turn them into plant food. That means less waste, fewer trips to the store, and a garden that feeds itself. It's a closed-loop system. Your problem becomes your resource. So why does this work? Because weeds are aggressive. And honestly, they're kind of impressive. Many weeds can pull nutrients from the soil better than our garden plants can. They grow fast because they're excellent at mining food from the ground. When you pull a weed and toss it out, you're throwing away the nutrients it collected. It already did the hard work, pulling nitrogen, potassium, and minerals up from deep soil. We just need a way to extract that nutrition back into a form plants can use. Weed tea is basically fermented plant water. The weeds break down, and their nutrients move into the water. That makes a liquid fertilizer your plants can absorb quickly, like a drink instead of a slow meal. Now, not all weeds are equal. Some are absolute all-stars for fertilizer. If you have these, you're holding premium ingredients. Stinging nettle is famous for being high in nitrogen and minerals. It's especially good for leafy greens. Anything you want to push into lush growth. Just wear gloves. Seriously, comfrey is the king of potassium. Potassium is a big deal for flowers and fruit. Think tomatoes, peppers, berries, roses. If you grow anything that blooms or fruits, comfrey tea is like a boost button. Dandelions have a deep taproot. They bring up calcium and potassium from deeper soil layers. So yes, your lawn's most annoying visitor can actually help your garden. Okay, this part is important. Some plants should never go into weed tea. Poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. Nope. Their irritating oils can stay active, and you do not want that anywhere near your skin or your tools. Next rule, if your weed has gone to seed, don't use it, because then you're basically making a bucket of future weeds, and the last thing you want is to water your garden with seed soup. Also be careful with weeds that spread through creeping roots, rhizomes. Things like bindweed or quackgrass can be stubborn. If you're not sure it will fully break down, keep it out. Let's build the simplest version. You need a container, like a 5-gallon bucket or a large plastic bin. Plastic is best. Metal can react sometimes, and we want this easy and safe. That's it. The system is literally weeds plus water plus time. Step 1. Cram the weeds in. Fill the bucket about 2/3 full with fresh weeds. More plant material equals stronger tea. Optional, but helpful. Chop the weeds into smaller pieces. Smaller pieces break down faster, and that makes the tea stronger sooner. If you don't chop, no problem. It just takes longer. Now, fill the bucket with water until everything is covered. If you can, use rainwater. If you're using tap water, just let it sit out for about a day so chlorine can fade. This helps friendly microbes do their job. Cover it loosely. You want to discourage mosquitoes, but still allow airflow. A loose lid, cloth, or mesh works great. Now we wait. Over the next couple weeks, the weeds soften, collapse, and release nutrients into the water. Give it a stir once in a while if you remember. Totally optional, but it helps. The passive bucket method can smell bad. Like barnyard bad? That's normal. It's breaking down without much oxygen, so don't put it next to your patio table. If you want less smell and faster results, you can aerate it. That just means adding bubbles, like an aquarium airstone. With oxygen, the process can be ready in about 1 to 2 days instead of weeks. So how do you know it's ready? The liquid turns dark, the plant material looks collapsed, and it smells strong. If you aerate, it usually smells more earthy. Either way, the nutrients are now in the water. Now, this is where most people mess up. you must dilute weed tea. If you pour it straight, you can stress plants or burn tender growth. We want it to look like weak iced tea, not dark coffee. A good starting mix is 1 part weed tea to 10 parts water. That doesn't have to be perfect. Just aim for light tea color, especially when feeding young plants. The easiest method is a root drench. Just pour the diluted tea onto the soil around your plant. This is best for the smelly, passive version because it stays in the soil, not on your leaves. You can spray it on leaves, but only if it's the aerated version and only if it's filtered well. Unfiltered bits can clog sprayers and funky smells on leaves. Not fun. When in doubt, stick to soil watering. It's simple and safe. Most garden plants love a gentle feed. Leafy greens enjoy nitrogen-rich tea. Flowering and fruiting plants love potassium-rich tea, especially when they're setting buds and fruit. But remember, dilute and don't overdo it. At the bottom, you'll have soggy weed sludge. Don't throw it away. That stuff is partially broken down and perfect for your compost pile. It can help your compost heat up faster like a compost booster. Quick safety notes: wear gloves for nettles, avoid poison plants, and don't store weed tea in sealed containers. Pressure can build. Keep it simple. Keep it safe. After a few feedings, you'll usually notice deeper green leaves, faster growth, and healthier plants overall. Not overnight magic, more like steady improvement. And the best part? You did it with weeds you were removing anyway. Nature doesn't waste anything, and neither should we. Weeds took nutrients from the soil. We capture those nutrients in water. Then we feed the garden again. So, comment below, what's the most annoying weed in your yard? Because chances are it might be your next batch of free fertilizer. And if you want more closed-loop garden tricks like this, subscribe for the next one.